Are we ready?
We're ready.
All right. Dad jeans. Dad jeans.
You have a major talent.
Thanks, dude.
If only we lived in a town where people could make their money off of writing jingles.
Oh my God! I've never written a jingle in my life. How crazy is that?
Or have you? Or have you written several? Let me tell our listeners something. I texted Jeff before our last episode, or 2 episodes ago, maybe even, because now we're recording these things all the time, Jeff.
Yeah.
And because now we're just major American radio personalities that just do this.
Yeah, we're the new Stearns.
With a new Stern. Oh, yes, right.
That was the new. The new Baba Booies. There's no Stern among us.
Right.
It's nothing but buoy in this crowd.
It's just erection sound effects
Buoys
to the
all the way
horizon.
Okay.
So, fuck were we talking about? I can't remember anymore.
How good? we are?
Oh, yeah. So I texted
Writing
you,
jingles.
and I was like, "Hey Jeff, let's do a segment called Outbreak Preppin." And I did that. I texted you while I was peeing.
Yeah.
And I'm 45.
Yeah.
And peeing takes about 90 seconds now.
Good.
And so, and I finished my pee.
Yeah.
Tap tap.
Tap tap.
Wipe.
Yeah.
The seat.
Okay. Yeah, of course. Oh, sure. Well, certainly.
Then my mouth.
Yeah.
Then the
Who
head of
would
the penis.
lift the seat? It's
Then
disgusting.
my mouth again.
Yeah.
And deposited in the trash.
COVID style.
COVID style.
Yeah.
We were having our friend Cafe over
Okay. That's
for dinner.
A person
Whose daughter? Yep. Yeah.
with a name.
Yeah. Named
Okay.
Cafe, as in the place you drink. Isn't that interesting?
All right.
She's a lovely gal, and her daughter is Oscar's age. And they were watching a movie, and we were sitting there. And Cafe is a raconteur and a fun chat.
Okay.
She might even be a listener. Hi, Cafe.
Hello, Cafe.
And I'd spoke with them for maybe the duration of 7 sentences, whatever that would be.
Yeah.
So we're now at 90 seconds plus 7 sentences.
Mm-hmm.
I look at my text message thread from you, and there is an attached audio file.
Yes.
And in those 4 minutes and 44 seconds, you had composed the theme to Outbreak Preppin.
That is true.
Because that's how urgent
Yes.
we needed that jingle.
Well, we need exactly. I knew that Dad Jeans needed that. Even though we didn't do it on our last episode 2 weeks ago, we would look like fools if we had done Outbreak Preppin 2 weeks ago.
Oh, right.
Because
a little too early, too prescient, too shrill.
Or maybe we could have saved humanity.
We could have
Actually,
saved
now that
lives.
I think about it.
Right, because
Fuck. And what do? We talked about what? Like whatever, wearing your backpack
and
running
and
or some shit like that.
Donkey after birth. Who knows what we talked about?
Who knows what we talked about? But it is now. We are in the midst of a pandemic. I don't want to see. Okay, Brendan. Let's set the stage. First of all, we're Dad Jeans.
Okay,
I'm Jeffrey Dinsmore.
I'm also Jeffrey.
No, you're not. Every time we go through this,
I'm Brendan.
can't
Hughes.
just be straight. This guy.
Can I be you though?
I am. It's a hard way of life, man. I don't know if you want.
Give me 24 hours.
I don't know if you want to inherit
with that
this.
musical brain.
It's like I haven't looked at any of the symptoms of COVID because I have all of them.
Oh,
obviously,
yeah, absolutely.
So I don't want to know.
Yeah, I got a email thread from my sister-in-law that was someone had typed out the symptoms, but I was like, ooh, I wish that were an article that would be subjected to the. I mean, thank you for the information, and it all seems right. It's like, dry throat leads to this, leads to that,
right?
And then like how long? It's all stuff that everyone should do their homework and find out, or just everyone should subscribe to the Lancet because that's probably where you should get your information from.
I don't know, read some esoteric medical article.
I mean, that's where the information is.
Yeah,
and then all the newsrooms are like, it says here it lasts 9 hours, but if we say 9 hours, Bernie Sanders wins, so let's make it 4 hours.
Yeah, you think that's the game plan?
That's the New York Times.
You're QAnon. What's the lefty equivalent of QAnon? Xenon? Are we Xenon? Maybe we could. Oh, Xenon. That's how you can make money during a pandemic. Just become the conspiracy guys.
Oh, this brings up my Spike Club too early, so we won't talk about it.
So we'll keep trucking with the intros. So anyway, Brendan proposed this new segment a couple weeks ago called Outbreak Preppin', which we didn't get to. Mm-hmm. This week, I'll be honest with you, I'm a little hesitant to do it just because it's like shit is really scary right now. Like I am just a bundle of fucking nerves.
Yep.
I'm not thinking about anything else.
Yeah, amen,
like,
brother.
I am just playing this, gaming this out into the future and see no hope for our country and or civilization.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know that this is a fun segment.
Is
my concern. And we don't want to make fun of it because by the time this comes out, who knows?
Everyone will know someone who has
exponentially.
expired.
Yeah, exactly. It's like we're the AIDS guys joking on AIDS.
Oh God,
hey,
right. Yeah,
Look
exactly.
at us.
Like, stop. I can't even make it. You still can't make it. It's still too soon.
It's still will forever be too soon.
Let me gently
Joking
push back on you.
AIDS
Let me
is
first say
not
this joke, Jesus, for an episode title.
Yeah. Okay, we're not doing that. We're not doing that, listeners.
Okay. I want to push back on you a little bit, but first I want to say you heard about Tom Hanks, I assume,
I did.
and Rita Wilson.
I did.
Shit's real.
Shit is real. Weren't they in?
They're in Australia.
Yeah. See,
Shooting a movie.
we
Presumably,
don't even have the fucking test here.
Yeah, well, they're probably in the presidential or the prime ministerial suite of the local Ritz-Carlton. So that's probably someone was negligent on one of the surfaces and one of the things, and they just but they both got it. So that could mean that someo's rubbing their ass cheeks on the bathroom counters of the Ritz-Carlton.
Or they're
prime
married
ministerial suite.
and touch each other.
Oh, so one touched the vector, and then they just started shoving their tongues down each other's throats after 25 years of marriage.
They licked off the COVID and swapped it between themselves
in
a Jim Morrison like ceremony.
Beads.
This is the end, my only friend. The end. Hanks is like, I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna do it, baby. I'm gonna do it.
It's all top lit. This is how we go out.
We
Rita.
got the COVID.
Rita.
Okay, so this is not funny. I'm sorry.
Right, you're right.
Okay, so push back.
It's not funny.
Keep pushing.
Because they're such nice people.
Okay.
They say.
Yes.
I've never met them.
I'm sure they're fine.
That's very upsetting. Well, but then the question. Okay, so let me gently push back on you slightly.
Yeah.
But I forgot I was going to do that because it is really scary.
Yeah.
Oh, I remember. Could it be possible that because of the proactive response that is much more responsive now than it would have been even 20 years ago or during SARS or any of that kind of stuff, that we will succeed in stopping seeing each other and incubating long enough that whoever is a vector kind of like goes through the process and then the thing is stopped in its tracks?
It would have been possible 3 years ago when President Obama had everything in place to do exactly fucking that.
Oh, right. But it's been stripped. But Republicans hate big government. Until now.
No one's a libertarian in a pandemic.
You're right about that. Geez, it turns out I think the Republicans were wrong, I guess, about almost everything, it turns out.
I mean, that's the hardest thing for me to come to terms with, actually.
Yeah,
maybe we've been lied to, Brendan,
by
our government.
Yeah.
What? No, are we in disaster prepping now? Should we just start it?
Oh, okay. Let's start.
Okay.
Outbreak prepping, look what you stepped in. Outbreak prepping, you're gonna need a weapon.
I'm gonna keep this to, hopefully, like a tight-ish hour.
Tightish is my favorite word.
To work at 9:30.
Can I say this? Yeah. It's the morning, and we've never broadcast in the morning before.
Oh, yeah. Oh, hey, look at that.
Good morning, everyone.
Yeah, so maybe things are good.
If this could be the new world order, honestly, I swear to God, we could podcast twice a day.
I know you love it. It's harder for me, but maybe not with this new job, which I'm announcing on air right now. I'm done. I'm done with that fucking commute.
That commute was unbelievable. You were commuting 3 hours and 7 minutes a day or something.
I know.
Like that,
Assuming now, I just
or
wrote
more.
Yeah, it was like 3 hours probably average.
This Gandhi, my friend.
It was miserable. But no, who knows? That goes right back into our new segment, disaster prepping or outbreak prepping, which we are in right now.
Yeah.
In that I had to email them today to be like, do I still have a job? Because you know what's happening out there. The fucking stock market is crashing. Like,
oh, sure. Oh, you have to
is
email
anyone
your
going
new
to have
employers.
My new employers?
Yeah, dude, tell me about it.
And I'm starting on April 6th. So I'm just like,
Christ almighty.
I'm like, is shit going to be like, are we just going to be like, yeah, your job is to like sort through these dog food tins to find one last scrap that you can feed your children.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Ain't pretty.
I have to hand it to the year 2020.
Ain't pretty.
2020, yeah. I was like, 2020, you can't possibly outdo 2018 and 2019. And 2020 was like, oh, yeah?
Oh, didn't even.
Because in the boxing ring, I'm known as Nut Kick McFuck Yourself.
That's what 2020 is.
Nut Kick.
To America.
Yeah.
Okay, so this was your segment idea. Let's get into your... How do you imagine this? What do you want to tell us about outbreak prepping?
It brings up an instant debate in my head.
Okay.
If it's just we're sharing information with each other, how do we vet the information?
Okay.
So that
I got snookered
it doesn't
last night.
create a what do you
feedback
call it?
loop
Hysteria.
of idiocy.
Yeah. Because I feel like that's how like the anti-vax movement operates. And then be the people that
you don't want
represent it.
hysteria, especially in what I think we can all agree is an actual threat.
Right. And only lawyers want hysteria because they can make money off it. The rest of us just suffer.
Yeah. Fair.
So, right. So then so if we have a segment about outbreak prepping, we could talk about maybe our reaction and what we are doing as a result of the information we receive, but maybe not authoritatively spread any information ourselves, because
Okay.
I have a personal something with that.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, that's fair. But
Or we could compare, because
I don't really have any actual information. I got to come clean on that.
Okay.
Even though I've read every single fucking article. And
That's the
all
information.
I'm doing is tweeting and looking at tweets all day long.
Right.
All I have is scary.
Right.
That's all I got.
So
Shit's
right.
going on.
I don't, without specific details. Like right now, I could say my brother, who is a
Journalist.
yes, interviewed an epidemiologist
Yeah.
at UNC who said we are 11 days behind Italy.
Yes. And that was 3 days ago.
That was 3 days ago.
We are now
8 days behind.
Well, I mean,
Italy.
I guess
we're a week and
I guess
a
the
day.
way days work, we're always going to be the
And they're
same
also-
number of days away.
and they're 8 hours ahead also, so it's really
Right.
7 days
Carry the one.
and 2/3.
Okay. Yeah.
But Italy. But then again, Italy. I mean, there's a tactile civilization. They're just walking down the street, just making out with each other and slathering. They're doing like Nuru body massage in their cubicles.
Well, I mean, that's the question is like, how is it transmitted? And that's the thing that's just like freaking me out is that there's no real answer. It's like, wash your hands a lot.
yeah.
Like, that's the only answer. It's like,
And drink a lot of water because apparently you can.
it
wash
probably
your
is just
stomach.
lurking everywhere on every surface of every place you step into.
Right.
I don't know.
Right, but is it? But can it float? I guess it floats off a sneeze and lands on metal. Or this email I got, it was all about when it lands on
Floats
metal,
off a
it
sneeze
lasts
and
this
lands
long.
on
When
metal.
it lands on, and then sing "Happy Birthday" twice while you're washing your hands. Wash your hands all the time.
Yeah.
Don't touch your face anymore. Here's an interesting thing.
I don't get that one. What?
No.
So I touch my cock, I wash my hands, then I touch my face. Am I at risk? Like, and is the virus just sitting there on my dick? Like when I pee and I'm just like, oh no, I
Right.
touched my COVID dick. Now I got to wash my hands.
Covenus.
Is it? Oh, see, no, that's good.
It's really confusing. It's very confusing.
Okay, sorry, but
Right.
go back.
No,
Yeah.
well, here's an interesting thing. If none of us touch our face anymore, not touching your face is a major high status symbol if you never touch your face.
That has long been a theory of yours,
Right. And if no one touches their face anymore, the rich won't be able to identify each other in crowds and give each other the job over the publicly educated. And suddenly this will be a great equalizer.
I do have. Let me tell you this. I do have this theory I'm working on that this disease is like. I mean, this is assuming we are in some kind of a simulation. This disease, you could not ask for a better disease to make us like revisit all of the ways in which we've fucked up in our society. You know, it's
Yeah.
like the prevalence, the predominance of work as like the thing that must happen at all, like productivity, GDP, like it's allowing us to revisit all that shit.
Yep.
It doesn't affect kids, which is fantastic.
It
It's
is
like the
fantastic.
Earth wants to kill us.
Yes.
Earth wants adults dead.
Yep. This is an immune system response.
Yeah. And what are some other things that I've been thinking about this disease? The quarantine, no. I don't know. It'll come to me.
Someone tweeted that dogs are probably the greatest beneficiaries because of the major uptick in people being home.
Right. See?
And it
Gonna
does
have to go get a dog.
it forces the world to sort of shift leftward a little.
Yes. But on the other hand, it is exposing the dark underbelly of America in that, like, literally everything we need to do to combat this disease and to be a healthier people, we have, like, through American exceptionalism, we are brazenly marching forward into this crisis thinking with this mentality that we're America, we're rich, we can just buy our way out of this, and we can't fucking buy our way out of this, man.
Yeah.
We can't fix it. Like, we don't got the tests.
Yeah.
They didn't do it right.
Do you know what a virus medically, anatomically, scientifically actually is?
Do tell.
It is a floating strand of DNA that lands on one of your cells and fucking reprograms it.
Oh my God.
And so it is literally like that's why they call computer viruses because it's literally just mindless floating software.
Wow.
That
so
lands on.
We are in a simulation.
I know, and I was thinking like they got a bunch of new writers for this season of the simulation.
Yeah.
Because things were like I don't know,
we
and then
shake
this
it
comes
out.
along, and the only piece of let me say something I'll regret saying on the air.
Okay, please.
The only piece of good news I've had in a long time. I don't want anyone to die from this.
No.
However, is the fact that an attendee at CPAC had it.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God, when I saw that. And the fact that fucking, like, what's his name with the gas mask and all these, like,
all
the
douchers.
elderly Republican establishment.
Yes.
Like, they had a Trojan horse at that horrendous, like, orgy of bad ideas.
Yeah, and we're going to see, hopefully, we are going to see, as a result of this, the bullies being confronted with their own denialism, like their own, like, fucking, I'm sure to this day in the White House, they're like, do you want a cookie? It's filled with COVID. Derby, derby.
Yep, exactly.
Like, just fucking joking it up. Oh, don't, and then one of them is going to fucking get sick and die, and they're all going to go screaming and crying to mommy.
Maybe it'll be Jared Kushner, who's just been in charge with the official Googler of the COVID-19, and he's like, sorry, was that COVID-17? Sorry, I wasn't listening.
What are we?
And then when the brain trust of the White House catches it and expires, then you're done. Then we're really lost without Jared Kushner.
What are we gonna do? I mean, Nancy Pelosi needs to be president right now.
Yeah.
Just please, get these two guys out of the way. Let Nancy take care of it, man.
I know. You got to wonder in the depths of Alabama when they're like, well, it is fun having a stadium insult comic in the White House.
Right.
However, maybe we should have an adult.
Now that I think about it more clearly.
Now that there is an imminent threat to my life and he is incapable of finishing a sentence without making it a run-on.
Did you listen?
No, I can't. I can't expose myself to that guy's brain farting.
Sometimes I do, just because I'm like, this is a thing that really needs to be, like, I would never listen to a State of the Union or any of that bullshit, but like last night I'm just like, all right, like, give me my
I salute that.
medicine, and it was just it's so scary.
Yeah,
it's so scary. I'm
up
guessing the 50% of the country that supports him has never actually heard him speak.
Oh, definitely
like they've
not.
never attended a rally,
except at
well, maybe.
Oh, I was thinking like only at rallies,
maybe
like
only
when
rallies,
he's fed,
off the cuff,
he's got his joke,
he's having a good old time. Yeah.
His kitchen cabinet of mean joke teller, joke writers.
Yeah, this guy isn't even UCB. He's like Improv Olympics. He's like, this guy's like.
Yeah, this is the guy. He tried out for the Armando Diaz experience once.
Yeah,
and got rejected.
Didn't
and has
make it.
Since been So this brings up a larger thing. When I was in 20 years ago, there was when video on the internet was fairly new. Mm-hmm. You may remember that there was a beheading. There was a captured, I want to say American, who was beheaded by some.
Was it Daniel? Whatever, Daniel something? He was
no,
like a journalist?
that was later than that. That was later. But this was maybe he was British. Anyway, it was a guy. It was it was like 2002 or 3, and there was a terrorist group that posted a video of beheading this guy, and I was like, I don't want that I can't have that information. I made myself call in. But a friend of mine was like, you got to watch it. This is important, and you have to have that information in your head. And I've always been like, ugh. So this comes up with ever listening to Donald Trump. I'll read what he said,
Fair.
but I can't. But listening to what he says, am I guilty of protecting, like curating the information? I certainly am, because I'm so politically extreme. But curating the information coming into my head, and should I not filter it the way you didn't filter it last night?
I mean, I think the there's a very definite answer to this, which is that he never says anything useful. So absolutely, there's no reason for you to ever listen to him.
Right.
But I
just
torture myself sometimes, and I'm just like, okay, let's hear it. And then I'm like, ooh, shouldn't have heard that.
I am now dumber for having heard that.
So tell me about Emily. Emily was traveling last night.
Yes, she was on her way to Peru. We discussed at length.
I'll pepper Peru.
Yeah, the peppering of Peru.
Yeah.
We discussed at length whether she should go
Okay.
because she was going to go for 7 days.
Yeah.
She was like getting on the airplane, had the mask, had the glass. She wore glasses. She doesn't wear glasses, but she found glasses to wear so that just like
Wow.
completely. And she said, and this again previews my fucking Spike Club, that there were 3 or 4 people who were full on sick getting on the airplane, completely oblivious, who probably were sensation pursuers and didn't know what was going on in the news and only watched TMZ and like listen to pop music or something. And we were like, "That's you, that's you." You know what I mean?
No.
And I was like, Emily, be rude. And if you're sitting next to one of these fucking animals, be like, I need to move my seat. I'm a surgeon. My patients can't afford me to be blah blah or whatever it is. You know what I mean? I'm sitting next to an idiot. Like, now is not the time to protect the feelings of idiots.
Yeah.
And I've spent a lot of my life protecting the feelings of idiots.
It's true.
And you can't do that in a
True.
pandemic.
I want to see more of that. I want to see more furor.
Yeah. Against
More furor.
idiocy.
Against idiocy.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm not
Sorry.
sure if
Keep
Führer
going.
is the preferred nomenclature, dude.
I want to see the Führer. Bring me the Führer. Oh, wait. Did I? Okay.
So, so anyway, she gets to Houston for the changeover to the international flight, and she's standing there with the director at the gate, and they get an email from their dude who's doing advance in Huaraz, Peru, who's like, they just canceled everything in Huaraz, and they're shutting the whole thing down. And they were going to film the first day of school. He was like, there is no first day of school.
Okay.
And so they're like, oh, shit. So she turned around and came back. And like,
How long was the flight?
to Peru is like 8 hours, but she just got to Houston.
Oh, God.
So she did. Luckily,
Okay.
she was like right before she walked on the plane to Peru.
Yeah.
She found this out, and so she talked to the director, and they were like, "All right, let's scrub the launch." And they went back, and she got on another plane back home and landed last night.
Okay, got it. Okay, so it wasn't. I thought you meant she was coming home from Peru.
No.
And I was like, as Donald Trump is announcing a ban on. Well, I guess Peru is in Europe, but still,
It's the Europe of South America, though.
yeah. Still, anytime that guy speaks, chaos. Is the
and
result.
He plunges the stock market.
Yeah.
I had just, as I mentioned recently on Dad Jeans, started putting money in the stock market. Of
Yes.
course. And that's why it's
I think
now
that was your
crashing.
fatherly advice last week.
It was
Lay the stock market. Oh, Brendan.
Yeah. Well, luckily, as freelancers, we're going to be fine.
Oh, yeah. Oh, sure. Absolutely.
Yeah,
People are gonna
everything dries up and the stock market crashes. We're going to be... Oh, so what we did was I bought a 25-pound bag of rice.
Yeah, okay, good for you.
And many, many pounds of beans and oats.
That's
And
doomsday
just
prepping.
dry goods.
Doomsday prepping. That's smart.
Doomsday prep. Who would have thunk?
Who would have
The
thunk?
fucking doomsday preppers.
I think that's smart. We were going to go shopping today, and that's what we need to buy. We just bought a haphazard collection of cans. We just threw them in a thing, and we're like, this?
Go to a Chinese grocery store. They'll have the giant bags of rice.
Okay.
And do you have a rice cooker?
Yes.
Okay, so you're fine. Because you can't cook rice on a stove.
No, but rice is not particularly healthy.
But it comes in giant bags.
Okay, I see.
That and rice and beans and board games for the next 2 months.
Yeah, it's gonna be scary.
But can we get together one-on-one like this is my next question. Oh, because at my Occidental, they are where I won't be teaching long-term.
Oh, terrible news. Terrible news.
Sad. And the adjuncts of the world now, like colleges are canceling the rest of the semester and making everyone teach online.
Yeah.
And adjuncts are, of course, like having to do a ton of extra work that will not be billed or paid for. So they call it, because this is another way in which late-stage capitalism and Disney leading the way to make everyone part-time so no one gets benefits. And colleges being like, oh, let's do all adjuncts, are making it so that like the freelancers and the giggers and the permalancers of the world are the most screwed.
Yeah.
We hustle the hardest. We're a major workforce, and we're fucked.
Shit.
And without us, you only have the sensation pursuing TMZ watchers and like open sneezers of the world who get on airplanes. They're like, wait, what's happening?
It's true.
They're just I don't want to take a selfie.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? And
selfing their way across
selfing us
time.
all into oblivion.
Yeah.
The Earth will be better off without us. That's where I just landed.
I mean, you're not wrong. We are the virus.
This is how we die.
We are the human virus.
Hey, Sarah.
This is how we die. Okay, let's move on. Suddenly not feeling
Do we
too
even
happy.
bother moving on?
Oh, God. Someone will benefit from this somehow. I don't know. There's some loser out there who needs a friend. Brian L. Perkins, I'm looking at you.
Hey, Bri.
This is the happiest moment of his week while he's stuck inside under the covers waiting for the
That's true.
Waiting for the world to crumble.
We must remember the Jun horde of friendless dads.
Yes, that's right. That's what we're here for. We march on.
Yes.
We march on for you.
Yes, because no one discuss. I mean, frankly, we are men in a patriarchy, so we can't complain that much.
Not that much.
But it can be said none of us have friends anymore because we had kids, and no one told us we would not have friends anymore once we have kids.
Yes, that is
or
a
the
thing
friends
we suffer from.
Yeah, and the friends we do have is like other dads, but they kind of miss their old friends like we do. So it's like, hey, I guess we're friends now.
Or
you want to be
guy
friends?
At work where you're just like, I'm fucking really struggling with this conversation, dude. You're like,
right.
Every day I come in and we have this conversation.
Yeah. Friday, you're on the elevator. Friday's coming.
Yeah. My weekend was fine.
Right.
What'd you do?
I was picked clean by my kids like every weekend.
I have children. That brings us to a wonderful segue into, should we do the other news segment of this week called, what's it called? Oh, my secret shame.
Something went wrong and I'm to blame. It's all my fault, my secret shame. Fucking up, that is my game. Now here we go, it's my secret. It's my secret shame.
So this is my idea behind this segment, ladies and gentlemen, is that there are things as a parent that I am ashamed about. I mean, it's probably similar to 7 of our other segments, but somehow this week it felt new.
Artists don't have careers; they have problems.
Yeah, there you go.
So we're solving one big problem.
We are solving one big problem
with several paintings.
So I am admitting something to you, the listeners, where I have screwed up as a parent.
Yeah.
And my secret shame, I have a 9-year-old daughter.
Lovely gal.
I have a 5-year-old son.
Lovely guy.
And neither of them can ride a bike. And this is my fault, but it's also the fault of society. And let me tell you why. Because when we had kids, there was a big pushback against training wheels. Everyone was like, yeah, get the little cruiser bike. Then they'll know how to ride a bike as soon as they get older. They'll get the little thing that balances, that they can balance on.
They only retail for $425.
Yeah, exactly. So we got one of those. Kids never looked at it or touched it until they were way too tall for it.
Yeah.
Now we're at bike stage. I'm terrified to or we're beyond bike stage. Hazel should have learned how to ride a bike 4 years ago probably, but I just haven't. I'm like, I can't give her training wheels. Like, that's absurd. Like, and so
why not?
Well, I mean, you can, but I mean, I know the way that you're supposed to do it is you run alongside them, holding on to them, and then you let go of them, and they can just do it. They magically can fly.
Who is that? I mean, that's conspicuous consumption of time. Only rich people have time to run alongside their kids.
And it's really hard. I did it with Eli the other day. You're like crouching down. You're like running like at a stoop, like Igor style.
This comes from a time when parents were 22 years old.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, I mean, that's what you're supposed to do. But I don't know. What did you do? Do you, Oscar can ride a bike?
No, not yet.
Oh, see, okay. So it's your secret shame as well. But you don't feel ashamed about this.
Not particularly. Not
You're just
yet.
like, he'll figure it out.
Well, actually, his birthday in a couple weeks, and we're probably going to get him a bike, I think.
Okay.
Whereupon, it'll be time to figure that out. But every person I know, I'd say 90% of people I know have a giant scar on their chin.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, yeah, bike.
Yeah.
And so then the question, I mean, he should do it. We all do, of course. We'll learn or whatever. But, like, is now time to be going to a hospital?
No. Okay. Okay. Now, that's a good point. Good point. Halt on bike riding.
There's no shame.
We're declaring it. A moratorium on bike learning.
Right.
Until
unless
COVID is over.
Wears a helmet on top and also over his chin.
Oh yeah, or a complete like one of those sumo wrestler suits. That
there you go.
You'll just bounce down the street.
But then there are no stakes to falling, and then he'll be too uncareful when it comes off. Who
wants stakes? Who needs stakes in this day and age?
Well, I mean, right. Guardrail, yeah. If pain is the guardrail. So the larger philosophical question being, should pain be a guardrail?
No.
Be used as a guardrail.
When have you ever had a bike accident and thought afterwards, oh, I got to learn how to center myself better? Never.
I was hit by a car on a bike.
Oh, shit, really?
Yep. Wow. I didn't look. I veered across the street, and this car full of a family off to have an evening at a restaurant.
Oh, dear.
Hit me.
Oh, dear.
And I was like, didn't run over me, but like sideswiped me, like blam, and I fell and I hit my head really hard on the pavement.
Did you have a helmet?
No.
Oh shit!
And I got
everything.
D's. It explains everything.
Oh wow!
Kind
when you were a kid,
I'm on my like 5th career.
Well, yeah.
I had 2 massive head traumas because I should have worn a helmet in my daily life.
Well, you're getting hit by crowbars too, right? Didn't some guy hit you with a crowbar?
Yeah, but that was in the face.
Oh, okay. No big deal.
There's a whole empty chamber behind the face.
Jesus Christ.
That was in the nose. It broke my nose.
Yeah, it's just the hollow shell back there.
Yeah. And I don't know what it was metal because I heard it, but I don't know what it was he hit me with.
Probably not a crowbar.
Could have been a baseball bat.
Ugh. Ow.
I know it's
You have suffered. You have suffered. I have not suffered at all.
Some shit.
I haven't suffered from anything. Well, that makes me feel a little bit better about my secret shame.
I'm not ashamed of you for not teaching that. No, because in this day and age, the fucking baby book changed so much.
Yeah.
And so it's just not the freewheeling 70s anymore.
No, it's true. But I mean, yeah, it's also like it makes me, I get upset about like the fact that, this street is okay. We could probably like go down this street, but it's still like, the cars own the street. It's not our street. A car does not have to look out for me.
Right.
So a car can come careening around the corner and just run my child over. And they're
Absolutely.
like, what are you doing in the street, idiot?
I was trying to look at Instagram behind the wheel.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
So just lamenting the lack of the neighborhood in which one could learn how to ride a bike. You know what I mean?
Are there any cul-de-sacs up in this bitch?
Yeah, there are. I mean, a lot of people go to Occidental, actually, which I may do.
All the way from here?
Well, just everywhere. I feel like Occidental is a bike ride, a place to learn how to ride a bike.
Because the quad. Yeah, there are actually a lot of people learning how to ride a bike on the quad.
Yeah.
And it's fun.
That could be a thing.
Yeah, and the students. You know what's weird about the Occidental quad, I noticed?
Do tell.
If you sit there long enough, like, it almost looks like a film set in terms of there are all these people walking, all these extras, background actors walking in different directions in this very smooth manner, and they all walk the exact same speed.
Oh, really? And it's so like Truman Show
the
style.
Fucking Twilight. Yeah, exactly. It feels like the Truman Show because you sit there and everyone's walking the exact same speed and like they're being issued out of doorways at the exact same rate and frequency.
So
and there's never too many in one place. Like it is ultimately like because I've done my time on the Occidental Quad and it took me forever to figure it out, but I was like, holy shit, this is completely staged by an amateur.
Wow.
And it is really creepy.
Oh, we can't. We got to stop. We got to stop with these thoughts. I'm going crazy. Like
about
I'm
the simulation?
Losing my mind. Yeah.
Yeah. Before COVID-19, this was starting to be the dumbest season of this show.
Yeah.
And now, now it's kind of interesting.
Remember when we almost had World War III? That weekend? Remember that weekend?
Well, who was that with again? Oh, Iran.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. You know what the problem is? The problem is it always defaults to the more interesting choice.
Right. Okay.
And I've had it.
Yeah, I'm done.
They're like that is what is guiding policy.
Boring. I want to bring boring back.
I want my
I'm bringing boring back. Hey, you
Um,
motherfuckers don't know how to relax.
Hey. I decided after Super Tuesday, I was like, I am going to withdraw my heart from these proceedings.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to watch bemusedly from a distance because I can't take this anymore.
Well, yes, fair. I think, it's just like, but if, like, all they got is to steal it. You can't fucking murder half of your country and and become reelected president, I should hope. Also, you know who's going to die? Another bright spot. all the oldies who would be voting for Donald Trump.
All the Fox News. And Fox News is like, it's a Democratic hoax. Sneeze on each other. Have sneezing parties.
Yeah, good luck out there.
Yeah.
Okay, let's move on. We keep going dark. Keep going dark.
Oh, yeah,
or do you have a
hard.
secret shame?
Oh, yes.
Oh, okay.
I go weeks and even months at a time in the micro.
Microwave?
In the microwave.
Yes.
That's it. I go weeks or months at a time, in the micro, in my interactions with Oscar, wondering about his personal growth as opposed to my logistical imperatives.
Okay, we're gonna have to. I'm gonna need a couple of dictionaries to unpack that. What do we got going on?
So, we're always in a fucking rush, and we always have to get somewhere.
Yes.
And so, and it's always, or it's go to bed because you have to wake up because this whole fucking thing has to happen all over again. And so, the charade of a simulation, of a terribly written simulation.
Yeah.
How do we keep ending up in the worst one?
Yeah.
There are others, there are other Brendan and Jeffs who have nothing to talk about.
They're having a good old time.
They're just thinking
living it up.
They're remembering jokes from the Brady Bunch on the show.
Oh my God.
Because they're not in this fucking simulation.
Caviar on their yacht.
Oh, yeah, I know,
guys.
because Dad Jeans was a hit.
Yeah, because of the massive success of Dad Jeans.
I left Fox because I was too busy managing Dad Jeans sponsorships.
Yeah. Sorry, guys.
And then it's like WTF, where you're like, I guess I'll check out that show, and it's literally 45 minutes of us talking about products before anything happens, and somehow it's still popular.
Yeah.
So, what happened?
Hey, do you guys ever like to mail things? Let me tell you. Hey,
you just have to get a scale in your house. You just gotta have to know how much something weighs.
It's amazing.
Yeah, you go to the doctor and have them check your prostate because I use the new anal intruder.
Yeah, available every month in the mail. Okay, sorry. Go ahead. Go.
It took the doctors 2 hours just to get the smile off his face.
Oh, I don't. Oh,
anyone?
Young Frankenstein.
Nope, close. Top secret.
All right.
Probably not watchable now. Probably not quite woke.
Nope.
Anyway.
Your secret shame.
Oh,
you're sitting there talking to Oscar.
Yeah. And I will not think to myself, what will make him a better adult eventually?
Okay.
If I address him like this, if I tease out his thoughts about it like this, or usually I'm like, we have to fucking do this thing, fucking cooperate because I tell you to,
Okay. So you're more concerned with just this schedule, the schedule of life than you are about
his development,
his emotional development.
Yeah. Although, I say that.
Yeah.
As I say it out loud, I wonder if it's true, because I might have a quick knee-jerk check-in with myself, but I might not.
No.
I might just be trying to be the camp counselor.
I'll tell you what's going on.
Tell me,
This
please.
is a dilemma that we all face.
Uh-huh.
That in your head, you have guilt that that's what you're doing.
Correct.
And it could be it's probably what you're doing. You're probably not that, you're not showing concern. You're not actually doing the things that are best for his emotional development, but you know that you should be.
Yep.
And so that makes it even worse for his emotional development.
Right, because he has a dad who's
sitting here,
who's consterned the whole time.
Consternated
and consternated about that. Yeah, about that. I could be being a much better dad right now, but I'm too under the gun.
Yeah.
About everything.
Yeah.
So,
but that's the fucking modern world, man. I like my kids every day. I'm like, we do this every day. Do you not see, sense the pattern?
Yeah.
It's always like, man, I'm gonna get up. I'm like, get out, please. We're gonna be late. And then we get to school and they're like, yeah, we're late. And they're like, yes,
right.
We're late every day.
Yeah.
Do you not see the chain of events that got us here? One of which involves you not falling asleep until 10 p.m. because you're mousing around the house, bothering me.
Uh-huh.
I'm like, go to bed. And I'm like, you're going to be an absolute terror in the morning. You won't. I'll be happy in the morning. Then the next morning, it's like, children.
Children.
Well, I understand that secret shame. We all
Children
we all
and their
hold
outlook.
it. But the amazing thing is, if you listen to our old podcasts, like take the first 3 years of this podcast, like we weren't gonna do any of that shit. That wasn't us.
Where we were talking about this
down
stuff.
on their level. We were emotionally nurturing them.
Yeah.
Like nobody's business.
Yeah.
And then cut to a couple years later, and you're just like, I can't do it. It's so hard.
Yesterday, I was Oscar's in an after-school program, and there's another mom who we twinkle at each other because we pick up at the same time, and she seems just like great. She seems like a nice person.
Yeah.
And so we chit-chat, blah, blah, blah. Her son is 4, and Oscar is 6.
Okay.
And there's a stark difference in our parenting styles because I used to do the thing where I open the door to the car, it's time to get out, and Oscar sits there for 4 calendar minutes.
Yeah,
Just not, I don't even know what he's doing. Like, he's just got things. So sometimes I'm like, well, fuck it. I don't have anywhere to be. I'll let him take forever. And he takes forever to get like
checking your phone.
Yeah, or not. Yeah, or like yeah. So I'll pull into the library parking lot, and then it takes him 15 minutes to get to the front because he has to look at time. And I think to myself, this is awesome. He's like tripping balls,
Sure,
on being a child and just like investigating shit.
Yeah.
So great. Okay, great. So sometimes I try as hard as I can. Every couple of months, I'm like, fuck it.
Yeah.
Today we go at Oscar's
smell
pace.
the roses. Okay.
Right. And then we like die of starvation, but still it's worth it.
Yeah.
Anyway, she was doing that. Like she was desperate to get her son out of the fence where we all have to go out of to go home or whatever. And she wasn't rushing him, and she was just sort of like standing there and I was like, hey, how's it going? She's like, I'm pretending to be patient. And I was like, oh, that's what I do all day. and she would not. She was just trying to intellectually convince her son that it was a good idea that they leave.
Okay.
But he was climbing this fence, and it was like it had all these signs like if you climb this fence, the entire neighborhood will explode.
Yeah.
And then Oscar started climbing the fence too, and then one of the counselors came over and was like, "Excuse me, they can't be climbing that fence." And she was in the mode with a 4-year-old of being like, "We really shouldn't do that."
Oh, geez.
And I went over and I was like, this might hurt his fingers a little bit, and I just like yanked Oscar down, and then I was ready to, and I was like, come on, let's go, and I sort of expedited the situation and handed her child to her. And I remember thinking, she probably is in that young parent of a younger child mode where she's like, oh, that's not what he wanted, and like I have this whole doctrine I'm following, and good on her.
Yeah.
But I was like, the stark difference between those 2 years as a parent of a 6-year-old
Sure.
was like, fuck this, and just did the thing. You know
That's
what I mean?
fair. There's a difference though between wishy-washy and just like, that sounds just wishy-washy to me. Like, like your kid's climbing a fence. That he's not supposed to be climbing. You say, you're not allowed up there.
Right. Well, this is the thing. I think she is keeping in mind her child is a grown-up.
I think she's wishy-washy. I think she needs help. I think she needs a dadtervention.
the unfeeling like fuck this.
Gene's intervention. What do we got? I think that's a segment at some point.
Gene's intervention, where we bring someone in and we're like, you need to be more decisive.
Yeah, exactly.
Except are we that decisive?
No, it's just like I'm saying. Like you get older, you get to have older kids, and you're just fed up.
Right.
You're just like, that's absurd. You don't climb the fence. Get down.
Yeah. I have such a short fuse.
Yeah. No, I'm just like, I'm done with you. I'm like, no, this is not how we do things. I told you what to do. You're doing it.
Sometimes I have the mental, not wherewithal, that's money. We've discussed that. Presence of mind to say to him, this is the last time I'm going to say this in a patient way.
Yeah.
But usually I don't. Usually I just skip right to the
get the fuck down, you motherfucker, little fuck.
I said fucking to him at one point because a friend of his lent him this Nerf gun that shoots things, and he kept pointing it at my fucking face.
No.
And finally I was like, stop pointing that at my fucking face.
This is what out-of-home movie posters do to you.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
Out-of-home movie posters.
Move on to Spike Club?
Oh, yes.
All right, let's do it.
I hate you! I hate you! I hate you! Spy Club! I hate you! I hate you! I hate you! Spy Club! Fuck!
My Spike Club is very simple this week, Brendan.
Yes.
Fucking shoes.
Yeah, man.
Right?
Yes.
Fucking, you buy a pair of shoes, you like it,
Yep.
a year, but probably less than that. 6 months later, you got this fucking hole in your thing. as I've got in my
Yep.
Vans right now. You got to go buy more shoes.
Yeah.
It's
And
just never ending.
Yeah, and the shoe industries all collude together to be like, no, shoes actually are $100 now. They used
Yeah.
to be $30. Now
Yeah.
they're $100.
Yeah, you can't just buy. And I'm done with buying shoes. Just give me a pair of shoes that works.
Yeah.
And it's like, I could buy, I guess, like a $700 pair of loafers, but then you got to maintain them. You got to put all this effort into them.
What about Doc Martens?
I've thought about going back to Docs.
They last a while.
They last
And
forever.
once you break them in, they're like sneakers.
Yeah.
Boots even.
Yeah. Maybe I'll
might have to go back
Maybe
to-
I'll go to Docs.
But they're very heavy.
Yeah, that's
But I
I'm
think
walking around with
yeah.
chains on my feet all day.
Tom Morello has that electric guitar masterclass, and he's really broken in Doc Martens with jeans, and it's a great look.
Oh, see, okay, maybe I will do Docs.
And I was like, he's been wearing those since they were in style in the 90s.
Right.
And he's reaping the
And they
rewards
still wait.
now.
They still work.
And they look sick. They look like he's lived a legit life the whole time.
All right, that's not bad. That's not bad
Let's
advice.
go back to Doc Martens.
Get
Maybe
some
we should get a
Docs.
sponsorship and get some boots,
Yes, Doc Martens. If you're listening to this,
which I'm sure you are.
I'm seriously going to forward this to Doc Martens and try to get a free pair of boots.
Yeah, why not? Yeah, because we might as well all dads en masse. Let's go. Let's bring Doc Martens back.
If you look at the spikes of our stats,
Yep.
like they're actually very impressive. You just don't want to look at the numbers on the side of the screen.
Oh right, yeah, the exponential amount of people that download,
Yeah.
as compared to the rest of the on the day it comes out.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
I guess that tells us how many subscribers.
Yeah, if you just don't look to the left and see that the highest number is 10, then it's very impressive.
yeah, exactly.
Okay, do you have a Spike Club this week?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
And it is. We have some. I'm doing all this like I regret talking about my sister-in-law's email because I fear that it will. You talk about people on the air and you don't want to slag people, and I wasn't slagging her.
Your sister-in-law's lovely.
And she sent a very important, very useful email. It just sparked an important debate in my head.
Okay.
Anyway, so I hope that
It was tips to keep healthy or something like that.
something like that. I think, or it was like we have to. And I think when it comes down to it, the friend of hers who typed the information was some sort of authority, and I didn't mention that part.
Okay.
Nonetheless, I'm sort of walking that back because I always feel a little like ooh to talk about things that annoy you on the air or not annoy you, but blah blah blah. In any case, so sometimes I have been exposed to people who don't have children.
Mm-hmm.
I still sometimes get exposed to that population.
Okay.
And sometimes I like to be self-effacing or Oscar-effacing a little bit. You know what I mean? Like, you don't want to be someone who brags about their kids.
Right.
So
you're saying when he's not there.
yeah.
You're
yeah.
not like, look at this dipshit.
Yeah, not exactly. I
Okay,
mean,
sorry. Keep going.
sometimes is he there? I mean, no,
Yeah.
probably not. Probably not.
Okay.
So anyway, I am a little bit Oscar-facing about the way he is in the world. Oscar is very vivid and a huge personality.
Okay.
And he's great, and I adore him, but I don't lead with that because no one wants to hear how you don't want to hear from another human how awesome their own kids are.
No.
So instead, in order to be kind of like a member of society, I'm like, oh yes, well we're struggling with personality,
Right. Yeah.
or something like that, However, here's my Spike Club.
Yeah.
When people, especially those who don't have kids, are like, yeah,
Oh no.
or start that, like they see you do it enough where they efface your child.
Oh,
and
yeah,
you're
no,
like,
no, no,
whoa, whoa, whoa,
No,
whoa,
no,
whoa,
no, no,
whoa,
no.
whoa.
That's not how this works.
You know, on the play, yeah, that is not. You don't fucking talk. I know
Yeah.
I just said something, but you don't agree, and you don't on the playground. Your little kid, your little brother, you get to pound your little brother all you want, but if
Right.
someone else does,
No.
it's fucking lights out,
That's right.
and there's a code.
Yeah.
And so that when that happens, I'm like, whoa, hey, whoa, I love my kid, and
Yeah.
and that is
You don't-
you're
yeah.
getting into go fuck yourself
You
territory.
don't want these non-breeders being like,
No.
yeah, he kind of seems like a retard.
Yeah, exactly.
You're right.
Like whoa, 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 whoa.
Hey, no.
Yeah.
We were having fun there. Your job is to tell me, oh no, he seems lovely.
right.
Yeah.
You defend my child to
Yeah,
me.
exactly.
Don't
Yeah.
make me defend my child to you.
That's a real setup. But you know who doesn't do that?
Who?
The upper classes.
What do they? Do they pretend?
They will.
pretend
They
don't
will
exist?
not. No, they will. They just will not deride their child in the slightest to you.
I have to tell Emily that.
They'll be like, "Yes, my daughter's doing quite well."
Ooh. Ugh. And then they don't touch their face.
Nope.
Oh,
They
holy
just
shit!
look at you with those
Yes,
shark
we're,
eyes.
We're very thrilled, actually.
Yes, she's just got into Cambridge. She's 13.
Mm. She invented a new punctuation mark.
Yeah.
I need to do that because that I feel spiteful about that.
Yeah. Well, so is it spite towards yourself, or you're
No.
spiteful towards
maybe.
the other people who hop on it?
It's
Hop on the
a little bit
bandwagon.
towards like don't make fun of another person's kid,
Right.
even if they do all the time.
Yeah. No, don't do that.
That's just sort of etiquette. Because I'm like, but then I'm like, I don't want to draw a boundary.
Yeah.
Which will bring me to my fatherly advice.
Okay. Let's go to fatherly advice.
Okay.
Help me, Daddy. Fatherly advice. Help me, Daddy. Fatherly advice.
Here's my fatherly advice.
Go for it.
Coming off of that.
Yes.
I fucking hate drawing boundaries. It makes me have a panic attack because somehow I was trained that if I'm a full person who has an objectionable inner life, that it is a threat to everyone around me. So I'm trying to learn to be a full person, be objectionable if I so need to, because as a full person, I can actually live my life and show that to Oscar versus be a whatever you want. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like be a mincing fucking sycophant to everyone I meet, even strangers, so that because lest I appear full and thus threaten.
Okay.
I'm done with that. But I still have a fucking panic attack every time I draw a boundary.
And what's an example of a boundary that you've drawn?
Telling my students to stop being late.
Oh, that's a good boundary.
So when I did that, I was like, all right, you guys, as we start class, let's talk a little bit about your letter grades. Letter grades for acting, a little weird. So obviously I can't give you a letter grade on how well you act because that's very subjective.
Yeah.
And bad acting is the new good acting in the post-Worcester Group world.
Yeah.
So therefore,
Okay.
what gets you an A in this class? And we all brainstormed. Then I was like, okay, what gets you a B? And
Yeah.
we brainstormed. And then what gets you a C? You know what I mean? And they were talking about attendance. And I was like, okay, great. Listen, you guys, I don't like conflict and I hate drawing boundaries, so I'm being passive-aggressive with you right now.
Oh, see, that's fun.
Yeah.
I
And
like
they were
that.
like,
Yeah.
and they stopped being late. So
Oh,
my,
wow.
my
Good for
thing
you.
is, thank you.
Own it.
Is own it up front and be like, look, I hate drawing boundaries, so
Yeah.
I'm about to say this. It actually won't be that bad, and then I'm going to have a panic attack, and you're going to have to talk me off the ledge.
Okay. I love that.
And then say the thing. It hurts
love-
my feelings when you make fun of my kid. Only I can make fun
You're
of my
putting the impetus on them to be the adults.
kid. Yeah, what's wrong with that?
Yeah.
That's my advice.
I think that's pretty good. I'm squishing that around in my head for a second there, just to make sure that
I admire
think that that's
your
the
ability
best
to
way to
draw
do it.
boundaries. I want to be able to be as full a person as Jeffrey Dinsmore.
I don't feel like I draw boundaries at all. When do I draw boundaries? Have I
Uh,
boundaried you?
Well, you just seem so confident.
I think we've had definitely in the show, when we were doing the show, there was a lot of conflict there.
You and I here? In the
Yeah,
show?
yeah.
Oh,
when we were doing the pizzicato effect.
Oh,
Just
yeah,
in
yeah.
everything sort of surrounding that, which, don't get me wrong, it was still one of the highlights of my, if not the highlight of the last 10 years of my life.
Oh, wow.
I've had 2 children as well. But it was a giant highlight. That I remember it very fondly. I really loved the entire thing.
And same.
But I think I think I do have a, I think maybe it's a struggle for control. Like when I feel like things are not going the way I want them to, then maybe I'm better at drawing a boundary. I don't know.
Perhaps.
I don't know.
And that was a very feisty Lennon and McCartney kind of thing.
Yeah, I didn't take offense at it.
Right, because I feel like what we both knew is we were trying to make it the best show possible. And
Yeah.
so if we had passionate feelings
Yeah.
one way or another,
Yeah.
et cetera.
It's fair.
And collaboration, that way madness lies.
Yeah.
Only terrible art comes out of collaborating.
I will say this. I don't think I'm very confident.
Oh.
I don't know how I project that to you, but
Well, when the mics heat up, I am much more confident on the air than off the air.
Uh-huh.
Do you find that to be true for yourself?
I think I know what this is. I know this relationship. I understand it. I like it. I get the dynamic.
What if I reached under the table?
But like I was saying with the guy at work, like, I mean, I have people like, I really like a lot of the people I work with, but they're still like I've worked with them every day, and there isn't that easygoing rapport. You know, it's
it's only with certain
I'm just
people.
like in my head still. Like, yeah, sometimes you just like you find that thing that clicks.
Yeah, there's a magic.
You click, baby.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I think it's objective, though. You and I are members of a certain tribe of people that just click with other people.
Yeah.
And people who don't click also don't click with everyone.
That's true.
Although that's totally wrong, but that's how I see the world.
Yeah. I feel like there's probably more people who think that I click with them than I think click with me.
I feel the exact same way. And then
Yeah.
my question is, how fucking hard could it be? Stop being shy and weird and obtuse.
Yeah.
And a full person.
Yeah.
And, be less of a full person.
Yeah.
And therefore click with more people.
Yeah. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe people don't need to be clicked with. Who knows?
Lastly,
Yes.
could it be possible that we walk around as a certain, and I think I've brought this up before, but a certain percentage of a person? So let's say I'm 60% Brendan and 40% whoever I'm talking to.
Yeah.
And you are whatever percentage you are. And some people are 100% themselves and 0% the person they're talking to.
Right.
And so there's a spectrum.
Okay.
And that's and clickability maybe has a correlation and maybe even a causation. Or maybe there's a regression towards a mean. Or maybe there are other statistical terms.
Right. I hear you. Maybe some sort of a slope curve or some sort of a
Maybe a parabola with a kickstand.
Yeah, that's a good theory. I think we should investigate that.
Okay.
At some point, not tonight.
What's your
Today.
fatherly advice?
It's a today.
It's morning because
it's morning. We still have a whole day ahead of us. Okay, so my fatherly advice is with children.
Mm-hmm.
Always propose one less than you're willing to go.
Oh, that's great.
Start one behind. The most
yes.
obvious example is how many pages or how many chapters we're going to read tonight.
Right. You're willing to read 5, so we're going to read 3.
Yeah, exactly.
4.
Yeah, actually, 2 less is generally better, but sometimes you can't go below 1.
Right. Sometimes you can't do fractions.
Right, exactly. Yeah, no, you got to start low. You got to lowball with the kids because they always feel like they've gotten something if you say, okay, all right, we'll do 2.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, you must lowball.
Yes.
This is where the DNC will ruin the world because the Republicans are like, we want everyone to we want people to forcibly have sex with guns while corporations harvest their organs because that's our vision of the world.
Sure.
And Democrats should be like, we want healthcare to be free.
Yeah.
But instead they're like, oh, okay, well, what if while you harvest their organs, maybe they only pay 3/3 of their income towards healthcare?
Right.
And Democrats start from a pre-compromised position.
Right.
As opposed to,
that.
let's have our vision of the world. They're like, no, let's you know what I mean? So, yes.
Well, yeah.
Start. So you're saying,
start low.
Start from a strong position.
Start from a strong position. That's right.
Yes, as opposed
but
to
also,
a pre-weakened position.
Also know that you're going to know where you're going to go with it. Like, I know at this point what Eli's going to want every night. And, he's going to want the 2 pages. Or like what's he going to do? He's going to you start from no treat and they get 1 treat.
Right.
And so then it's like then they feel as if they've earned something or they feel as if they've not earned something, but they feel as if like you've been in your magnanimity.
Yep.
You have given them something.
And you've both given a little.
Yeah.
So they didn't get entirely what they want and aren't tyrants.
Yes.
And you aren't a tyrant.
Yeah. Because wherever you start, if you start like, okay, we're gonna have 2 treats, and they're gonna say, I want 4.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
Like they're always gonna upsell you.
And if you were secretly willing to give them 3, then they give.
Yeah.
And then that's a better society, I think, right?
I think so. I don't know. Now that I'm thinking about it a little bit more directly, though, I do feel as if somehow Eli tends to be disappointed no matter where we land.
Well, that's emotional terrorism.
Yeah, that's true.
That is the conundrum of parenthood itself. Are we doing this right?
Yeah.
Who knows?
Right. No. I don't know.
It's
Probably
like it's
not.
a correlation with the advertising saying, but half of parenting is damaging, but you don't know which half.
Yeah. All right. That's a good place to end, I think.
Yeah.
All right. Well, have a lovely day.
But good morning,
Dad
everybody.
Jeans listeners.
Yeah.
Good morning.
Be off with yourselves.
Enjoy your latte.
And board games.
Oh, and board games.
And
yes.
beans and rice for 2 months.
Exactly.
Good night. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good job, everybody.
Huzzah! Huzzah!
1 hour. Look at that.
Ooh, tight.
Oh, it's still rolling. It's still rolling. Should I leave all this on too?
Yeah.
Okay, now we revert back into our real personalities.
Now,
should I hit stop? I don't know.
for the
I'm
next half hour.
maybe not. I'll just let it keep going until you indicate that you're
Damn
feel
it.
safe.
Damn it, Brendan! I'm drawing a boundary.
I'm sorry.